fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill. Second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Rosal. Bloombox. Let's bloom together.
Just received Able Farm evaporated milk, delicious and nutritious, rich and creamy. Perfect for all uses. For drinking, for tea, coffee, cocoa, punches, juices, cooking, baking, ice pops, and ice cream, and everything else. Prices start as low as $1.55 per can. Able Farm evaporated milk. Available in 2 varieties, each in 2 sizes of cans. Able Farm evaporated milk. Available wholesale and retail at Esau Trading Limited. That milk nice, boy. Esau Trading Limited, making a difference for you.
Milky milk, milky milk, milky, milky milk. Milky milk.
And carry, cash and carry, and carry, cash and carry. At Cash and Carry, we offer the finest selection of products that cater to your every need. From groceries to household essentials, our shelves are stocked with quality items that are sure to impress. And guess what? We're not just great for wholesale, we're also your go-to place for all your food service needs. Located right opposite the Immigration Department on King George V Street in Rosal, we take pride in providing you with an unforgettable shopping experience. Our friendly staff is here to assist you in each and every step of the way. Ready to place an order or have a question? Call us at 316-0184 or 255-6823. And carry, cash and carry, and carry, cash and carry. We can't wait to see you.
Detergents may miss the mark when it comes to adding softness to your loads. But fortunately, Dominica, we've got Ensueno fabric softener. Ensueno is the conditioner of laundry care, making your clothes feel butterfly soft. Discover Ensueno fabric softener. Long-lasting, nature-inspired fragrances protect your fabrics. Revitalize your laundry with the refreshing scent of spring fresh Ensueno fabric softener. Makes your clothes fluffy, alive, and vibrant. Love all over Dominica. Local agents, Ace African Company. Available also markets at your favorite friendly neighborhood outlet or shop. Use Ensueno. The all-inclusive Creole Cruise Party is set to set sail at sunset to secret exclusive destinations under the canopy of a lovely, lively, vibrant, colorful celebration with non-stop entertainment by First Serenade Combo, King Dice, Reigning Calypso Monarch, Joy, Dread and the Bear. Music by DJ Shield. 6 p.m. and the journey departs the Bayfront in Rosal. It's smooth sailing along the scenic coast of independent Dominica. Come enjoy a deserving night of highly anticipated good fun, friends and frolic. Thursday, October 23rd, all-inclusive Creole Cruise Party. Secure your tickets now for this extraordinary cruise journey along the coast of Dominica. Only $280 or $80 US. All-inclusive Creole Cruise Party. Get your tickets at Island Event Tickets /tickets Creole Cruise Party. A Bullseye Pharmacy. A call 235-6888. Thursday, October 23rd. Big prizes and surprises. Everyone from the diaspora will be there.
All right, Dominica. You know, Dominica is pregnant with issues. We try to explore one at a time, sometimes two. But this afternoon, I'm going to go back to a discussion we had with the former chief planner, Annie Edwards, very concerned about what's happening there in the Debash area, really the mining taking place of Tarish or whatever else. So I drove up there yesterday morning, I think. But it appears nobody's paying attention. And the Chinese are still there, building this massive wall. Will this be enough to stop this seepage into the river now that we have the tourist season beginning on Wednesday. Last week before she left, I asked the former chief planner, what is the way forward? What is the way forward? How are we going to be resolving this issue in the Debuash area? Actually, I was somewhat amazed, and I did a little video while I passed through. I spoke, briefly to one of the Labour Party's acolytes, and you know what they said to me? Yes, the mining will continue. It doesn't really matter what concerns are there, but these people insist that this mining will continue to the detriment of our environment. Let's listen to Annie Edwards when I asked her last week, what is the way forward? And before that, we had Mr. Isaac Baptist. Somebody you can consider who loves the environment. A planner himself. Let's listen to Annie Edwards. Annie Edwards.
Every time this government seem to respond is when you what they call boots on the ground. So Concord is an interesting community. On one side of the river, it's part of Marigot, and on the other side is part of the Kalinago territory. So the first person who actually told me about that development was the chairman of the Marigot Village Council, who was so concerned that, he was trying to get information and there was no information coming through. That's Mikey Pascal.
Mm-hmm.
So after subsequently we have been talking, but I think to me the time has come for the Marigot Village Council to start mobilizing people in that area all the way to Concord, and those on the Kalinago chief to mobilize and we come together. And in fact, as many Dominicans as possible, because this thing is really hurting Dominicans in general. Just imagine you're driving, everybody uses that road to drive to the airport, and when you're passing, you see all this mud on the road, and they don't even clean up the place. They just leave all the mud for you to drive in. Yeah, I think the time has come for us to come together and make us go on the road and let these people know this is not going to continue. We are not going to lose an entire river for an airport, because we are right in the source of the river. It's not like what they did in some of the other areas is closer to the mouth, so maybe you can rehabilitate. If you destroy the source of the river, then the river is gone.
Something to be seriously concerned about. Let's listen again to Annie Edwards pointing a way forward. Is that the answer?
The only time this government seems to respond is when you what they call boots on the ground. So Concord is an interesting community. On one side of the river, it's part of Marigot, and on the other side is part of the Kalinago territory. So the first person who actually told me about that development was the chairman of the Marigot Village Council, who was so concerned that, he was trying to get information and there was no information coming through. That's Mikey Pascal.
Mm-hmm.
So after subsequently we have been talking, but I think to me the time has come for the Marigot Village Council to start mobilizing people in that area all the way to Concord, and those on the Kalinago chief to mobilize and we come together. And in fact, as many Dominicans as possible, because this thing is really hurting Dominicans in general. Just imagine you're driving, everybody uses that road to drive to the airport, and when you're passing, you see all this mud on the road, and they don't even clean up the place. They just leave all the mud for you to drive in. Yeah, I think the time has come for us to come together and make us,
Understand?
yeah, go on the road and, yeah, let these people know, no, this is not going to continue. We are not going to lose an entire river for an airport, because we are right in the source of the river. It's not like what they did in some of the other areas is closer to the mouth, so maybe you can rehabilitate. If you destroy the source of the river, then the river is gone.
And as I said, I saw on Sunday the mining continuing. So is that the answer going forward? Boots on the ground? Just a question. Is that the answer? Mr. Isaac Baptist also shared his view sometime last week. Listen.
Only time this government seem to respond is when you what they call boots on the ground. So, Concord is an interesting community. On one side of the river, it's part of Marigot, and on the other side, it's part of the Kalinago territory. So, the first person who actually told me about that development was the chairman of the Marigot Village Council, who was so concerned that he was trying to get information and there was no information coming through. That's Mikey Pascal. So after subsequently we have been talking, but I think to me the time has come for the Marigot Village Council to start mobilizing people in that area all the way to Concord, and those on the Kalinago chief to mobilize and we come together. And in fact, as many Dominicans as possible, because this thing is really hurting Dominicans in general. Just imagine you're driving, everybody uses that road to drive to the airport, and when you're passing, you see all this mud on the road, and they don't even clean up the place. They just leave all the mud for you to drive in. Yeah, I think the time has come for us to come together and make us,
Understand?
yeah, go on the road and, yeah, let these people know, no, this is not going to continue. We are not going to lose an entire river for an airport, because we are right in the source of the river. It's not like what they did in some of the other areas is closer to the mouth, so maybe you can rehabilitate. If you destroy the source of the river, then the river is
I'm
gone.
trying to wrap around my head what is really taking place or happening with the government. We have, the history of the background of the international airport. It's an established fact that the international airport will be built regardless of what criticism we have about it. It is an established fact that if this project was being undertaken or financed by world institutions such as the World Bank, the Caribbean Development Bank, what is happening and the issues we are having would not take place, because these institutions would have ensured that all the proper studies are done. The people impacted would be aware and participate in the studies, and the project then moves on smoothly. It is a fact that such major projects, you will encounter difficulties at some stage. And it's also obvious that the necessary studies to undertake this project was not done. I'm one of those who believe that it is a waste of money to build a 10,000-foot runway for Dominica, now and in the long term, and etc. But this is the government decision. They are taking that decision. But for heaven's sake, he was there. The project will be completed. He will do it. He even said that the Chinese will finance completion if the government cannot finance the project. So why can't you take your time and ensure that the projects and the things that are associated with the projects are done properly? It is not for you. It is not a political thing that you're doing. It is in the national interest you're doing. And you, your children, and generations to come will be impacted by the bad decision that you make now. So why can't you take your time? In a normal country, in a country where things are vibrant, you will say we talk too much, but what can you do? You call the people out, they will not come out. In a country where things are different, this matter would not go that far. Because you know what? The By association, we have people in there that will decide, regardless of what, I'm going to take the matter to court in the public interest. The landowners might give them assistance to take the matter to court. The people in tourism, like the taxi association, etc., were impacted because this river, they are using it for tubing and so forth, whatever the cruise ship system is on. They too can take this matter to court. But it cannot be, they will not do it for whatever reason, financing, political fear of victimization, etc. But it is the responsibility of the government, for heaven's sake, to ensure that such a major project, issues and development activities that will impact on the nation forever. We are promoting Dominica as a nature island. So therefore, even the airport that you're building will fail if you're destroying the very thing that have to sustain the airport. And I can't understand it. I just cannot understand what it is that is preventing the government from stepping back and saying, the project will be completed. Let us take our time to make sure we do it properly for this generation and for generations to come. The most I can do is to call on the government, and particularly the main decision maker of the government, Mr. Roosevelt Skerry. So the airport will be built. You are sure that the airport will be built. So the works that are associated with the airport, you have not done the proper studies. But if you have done the studies, and the Chinese that are not blaming Chinese because you are instructing them or they follow your instruction, the least you can do is you show that what you're doing is okay. Publish the report. Embarrass those of us who think that what they're doing here is bad. Publish it to prove that we have done the necessary studies. We are aware of the impacts on it, and we have ways to mitigate the impact. That is how it is done throughout the world. What will it take for the government to understand? Mr. Roosevelt, Prime Minister Dominica, I am urging you to take this approach. Take this approach for you to make sure that this project that you're doing, which Dominicans accepted, you only do not like the approach you are taking to it and the impact it's having on the people, and that could have been avoided. Please, sir, take a step back and do the things the right way. That's the most I can contribute to this matter.
Thank you. Annie, another environmentalist is asking, what is the way forward? Where do we go from here? And you heard that answer.
What I would say is the only time this government seem to respond is when you what they call boots on the ground. So Concord is an interesting community. On one side of the river, it's part of Marigot, and on the other side is part of the Kalinago territory. So the first person who actually told me about that development was the chairman of the Marigot Village Council, who was so concerned that, he was trying to get information and there was no information coming through. That's Mikey Pascal.
Mm-hmm.
So after subsequently we have been talking, but I think to me the time has come for the Marigot Village Council to start mobilizing people in that area all the way to Concord, and those on the Kalinago chief to mobilize and we come together. And in fact, as many Dominicans as possible, because this thing is really hurting Dominicans in general. Just imagine you're driving, everybody uses that road to drive to the airport, and when you're passing, you see all this mud on the road, and they don't even clean up the place. They just leave all the mud for you to drive in. Yeah, I think the time has come for us to come together and make us go on the road and let these people know this is not going to continue. We are not going to lose an entire river for an airport, because we are right in the source of the river,
Now we're looking for solutions. Annie suggests, Mrs. Edwards suggests, the way forward is boots on the ground. Some others might suggest diplomacy is the way to go. We want to be solutions oriented this afternoon. What is the way to go for resolving this problem? Clearly, it's a matter of concern for Concord and for the Kalinago territory. As a matter of fact, somebody just sent me a video. Somebody who I guess was there looking for what? Taurus? Were you participating in some Taurus exercise? Let's listen.
Oh. This used to be green and deep and clean. See it now? Effects of the excavation by the Chinese up at Debosh. Everything flows into the Concord River. See that big stone where we used to dive from? Everything now is just turbid or dirty, as we would say. No more river bathing at number 6. See it? That's it.
All right. Oh, what's the way to go? What's the way to go? Somebody said if a government is not protecting its natural resources, it's giving it away. This government security loyalty through allocation of resources, anything to sustain political survival, everything is transactional. On the Rusi Douglas, somebody says this would have ended a long time ago. It's now boots on the ground. I'm just following the messages there. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
My beloved brother, I glad you go back to that, Matt.
Of course, we need to solve that problem.
I hear you talk about result, or why you talk about oriented?
Solutions oriented, I said.
Solution. Matt, the Dominican public has told you, even Annie told you, it's not a solution, but a method in moving forward. Matt, so you mean they have a thing saying every dumb development come with a price, Matt?
It appears that way. It appears that way.
Oh, but it's every dumb development. Because, Matt, there are the mitigating factors in development. And I've seen it all over the world, what people are doing in this day and age of preservation of the climate change and the global warming. You could see all what people are doing to lessen, to mitigate, is to lessen the impact on the environment. Matt, what part of Skerrit anatomy he washed and soaked the, what they call it, Matt, the ham and the turkey and give Dominicans to eat? But it seems like everybody are afraid. And with that level of apprehension, Skerrit have a free reign. And when you hear Skerrit saying, I run things, Matt, I do not believe that. The Chinese are in charge of Dominica and they're doing whatever the hell they want. And that is not a speculation, Matt. There is sufficient evidence to show Skerrit is not in control of what is happening in Dominica. Matt, I do not believe Skerrit can be that evil. I still give him a little credit. Because every major infrastructural project are being given to the Chinese. So it's the Chinese that are dictating to Dominica and to Skerrit what happened in Dominica. So I want to go there and mind. Skerrit have nothing to mind about. He can't talk. He can't open his eyes. He just have to watch the Chinese desecrate, violate, and destroy. Dominica is secret, prime property, nature isle. Nature isle, it already go to hell. Matt, where are the people that say lovely Dominica? Matt, why did Sissy Cordero sing the song Partite Opre Dominica? No, Matt?
Yes, I think so.
Look at how visionary that woman was. She saw the possibility or tease that piece of prime property one day, and if you check history, look at what happened in Gaza, then people with power will just come and say, you know something? These are some stupid, foolish, uncivilized people, as they like to say. Let us just take candy from a child. So they give you a couple billions or millions, you're indebted to them, the money trap, and then you cannot tell them nothing because you are indebted to them. Matt, if you owe me $1 million, Matt, and I put a slap on you in the public, Matt, would you want to hit me back?
Well, I want to. Of course, I want to hit you back.
But would you hit me back?
Yeah, well, that's a nice question. It depends.
So that is what that is happening, Matt. Skerritt is up to his neck, choking with all kind of secret deals with the Chinese, and the Chinese are that ruthless. Study history, even Tibet there, the way Tibet was owing them, and after 100 years, they just take over the country. And all you sit down there and think, Matt Pelte has to risk his life. Matt, where the Chinese on conclusion? You used to talk to them ambassador and things like that. What they tell you, go to hell, Matt?
Well, I haven't heard from them in a while.
Have you made an attempt to talk to the Chinese ambassador?
Yes, I have in recent times, and I will continue trying. I never give up.
Oh, so now the horse has already bolted the stable. I will not talk about Jackass again, Matt. The Chinese don't give a damn because they have a foothold in Dominica. They need not to come publicly and pacify the people with lies. Thank you.
Thank you again. Somebody says this government follows the Chinese Communist Party's playbook. The CCP destroyed China to build China. You mean the Communist Party? The DLP is doing the same. Let's go to the telephone now. What is the way forward in dealing with this Debranche mining problem going on there? I took a look on Sunday morning. Yes, and there's still mining going on. So nobody may have paid attention. Hello, yes?
Yes, good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you.
And how are you?
I'm trying my best.
Okay, I am happy that you are still on this topic because even now, as we speak, the Chinese trucks are still carrying stuff from up there to Londonderry. There is a school within that vicinity, right on the highway. So what is really going on? We're just going to sit there and then nobody says nothing. The people speaking, nobody in authority coming. Well, we're not going to sit down on this side. Chinese cannot come out where they come out and earning a piece of Dominica, and we, the citizens of Dominica, of Marigot and environs, going to sit there and allow this nonsense to happen. We will make the Chinese stop. We will teach them a lesson of the day. Because we didn't bang water to come here. We didn't smuggle to come here. We are born Dominicans. Nobody knows what is the memorandum that was signed between Roosevelt, Skerritt, and the Chinese, while Roosevelt enjoying all what he enjoying from the Chinese, and we, the citizens of Dominica, are still struggling. We're not going to sit and allow these things to happen. We were not brought up this way, and we were never taught to just sit and let people ram things down our throat. And I think it's time now that we stop talking and get up on our lorries and make people know that Dominica is for Dominicans.
So basically, you're saying you're prepared to stand at this time. You're prepared to stand for what the mess that's going on there. He's gone. He's gone. Somebody says Blessings is right. The donors of the Labour Party are the ones in charge. They make the decisions, and this government is just 40 in their hands. Hence the reason there are no solutions, only problems. We're looking for solutions, huh? It's 1:47. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Matt, we may make noise, but we know Mr. Skerritt always gets his way. He has China on his back. He has all kinds of people on his back. But the solution is for us not to vote for any Labour Party candidate in the next election. That needs to be said.
No, elections may be 3 years away. So you're saying wait until elections or wait until you vote? What is the short-term solutions today, yesterday? That's my question to you. Not waiting for a vote. I'm saying, what is the solution today? Because the river has been destroyed. And we all know that. So what is the solution?
Matt, we may demonstrate on all of that. But ultimately, Matt, people must never vote for another Labour Party candidate. That needs to be said. People have to understand that.
And I agree. I may agree with you or not agree with you, but I'm saying, what is the solution now? Because elections maybe in the next 2 years, election maybe in the next month. If election is tomorrow, I could ride with you. But I'm saying, what is the solution today?
There is no solution, Matt. We can demonstrate. We'll get the RSS. The Chinese company will just shun us.
All you're doing now is putting fear in the people's mind. You know, if you have to stand, you have to stand. Right? You agree with me?
The young man had his pristine place, and what happened? There was demonstration. He objected. They still went and mined his place.
Which man are you talking about now? Which man?
The American gentleman who first raised the issue when they went in there by Crapo Hall. The Crapo Hall River is still brown.
You'll have to, of course, remind me of that. But we're looking for the solutions today. Elections is maybe months or years away. What is the solution today?
I'm trying to wrap around my head.
I would say the only time this government seems to respond is when you what they call boots on the ground. So Concord is an interesting community. On one side of the river, it's part of Marigot, and on the other side, it's part of the Kalinago territory. So the first person who actually told me about that development was the chairman of the Marigot Village Council, who was so concerned that, he was trying to get information and there was no information coming through. That's Mikey Pastor.
Mm-hmm.
So after subsequently we have been talking, but I think to me the time has come for the Marigot Village Council to start mobilizing people in that area all the way to Concord, and those on the Kalinago chief to mobilize and we come together. And in fact, as many Dominicans as possible, because this thing is really hurting Dominicans in general. Just imagine you're driving, everybody uses that road to drive to the airport, and when you're passing, you see all this mud on the road, and they don't even clean up the place. They just leave all the mud for you to drive in. Yeah, I think the time has come for us to come together and make us go on the road and let these people know this is not going to continue. We are not going to lose an entire river for an airport, because we are right in the source of the river, It's not like what they did in some of the other areas is closer to the mouth, so maybe you can rehabilitate. If you destroy the source of the
Moving
river,
in
the
time,
river is
boy.
gone.
Sweet body line, give me. Crayon Rat Fest in Point Mission, October 21st to the 23rd. 3 nights of great fun and excitement from 6 p.m. to midnight. See you there in Point Mission for Crayon Rat Fest.
Cause I'm on my way. KFC delivery is here. Just place your order at www.kfcdominica.com, Facebook or WhatsApp at 614-2633 and your order will be delivered to you. KFC, it's good. Cause I'm on my way. The New India Insurance Company has reopened its doors in Portsmouth, offering the same great services you get in Roseau. Motor vehicle insurance, home and business owners, fire and related carriers, public liability, and so much more. Come, visit us today for insurance with a personal touch on Bay Street, Portsmouth, or call us at 445-4023. We are ready to serve you.
Again, let's try to be solutions oriented. We're looking for answers to deal with the issue, really. Mining taking place there in Debouche. Somebody's asking, saying that maybe we should ask the Pakistan citizens how they dealt with the Chinese problem. It's already 5 to 2. You know how time moves quickly. Let's take another phone call. Are you there? Yes?
Yes, I am there.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
I called earlier on.
No, I'm saying
What I,
basically you're saying you're going to take action. What kind of action you will take?
what action that is necessary
Oh, okay.
to take?
I'm saying what action will you take? You.
What action would I take?
Yes.
The action I would take,
Mm-hmm.
I would not reveal.
Okay. Okay.
Whatever is necessary to do, it's our democratic right. We're not going to make war, or I am not going to make war, but I would reach out and I will reach out
Mm-hmm.
to do anything it takes to resolve this thing that is going on at the Bosch. Because the Chinese were mining at Copper Hall,
Mm-hmm.
all fair and square. Nobody cannot say that the government or planning or whoever is in authority sent out any news or had any consultation with the people of Concord,
Okay.
knowing that there is a school in that area.
So you say no discussion took place? No discussion at all?
No discussion at all, from what I know.
Okay.
No discussion at all as to, and the people are still waiting for their PAL rep and whoever the authorities are to meet with them, and even to now, nothing. Can you imagine being in a classroom at that school and trucks going up and down, blowing so loud? What chaos it causes in the classroom?
I can just imagine. I can just imagine.
And we are going to sit there and allow this nonsense to happen? A caller just mentioned about RSS. RSS are people just like us. We must remember that. And these RSS people are not from Dominica. We have to remember that. It's not a Marigot problem. It's not a Concord problem. But this is a Dominica problem. And we have to look at it that way. Because when these nonsense start going on in the RSS people countries, I am definitely sure, I can bet my last dollar, they will stand against it and they will put down their foot for what is right. So we're not going to make RSS scare us or put fear in us. RSS are people just like us. We have feelings, and when we are hurt and nobody is attending to us, then what do you expect to happen? See, so long people have been talking. It's come on the radio. Miss Annie came. She spoke about it. Planning have not given the Chinese or whoever approval. And you're telling me this work is still... That cannot be testing, man. That is not testing. That is a project that is full-blown going. And we need to stand up. We're not going to make Chinese come here and do us what they want. We cannot go in China and do that. We cannot. And it's time for us to stand for Dominica, because tomorrow, if we don't stand now, what's going to happen to our children and our grandchildren?
There'll be no rivers for them to bathe in, huh? For sure. There won't be no rivers. No rivers left.
So it's time for Dominicans to come on board. Because look at this. At Hatton Garden, the Chinese mining close to Mr. James in the St. Mary's River. Right along that river.
But I suspect that may have stopped, because somebody within government circles indicated to me, and I'm hoping that Mr. James is listening at this time, and they told me if Mr. James had allowed the mining to continue, they would not have to resort to the Daywash area. That's what somebody told me within the government circle. So I don't know what that means, but he said, I may want to reach out to Mr. James and ask the same question. He said if Mr. James had allowed them to continue mining in that area, they would not have to resort to the Daywash area. That's the response. Okay. Yeah. So.
Okay, but let's look at it now, because this is a concern. Citizen of Dominica and a villager of Marigot. My child go to school at Concord.
Okay.
Right. In the Hatton Garden area, maybe you can hear in the background, the trucks are still going up and down, carrying stuff from the bush.
I saw them yesterday. I saw them.
Right. In the Hatton Garden area, the river, people would normally go to bathe and wash. They no longer can access those two river areas. So normally when you don't have water in the pipe in the village, people would normally drive up to Concord, which would be more relaxing.
Right.
They go and take a bath. Right now, the Concord people themselves cannot even make use of the river. And most of the time, Concord don't have water. So can you imagine what is really going on and what the people in these areas are facing?
I can just imagine.
But a tire is subject to a particular amount of air. If you put more than the amount that is expected to go in it, what will happen?
It'll burst.
Right. A balloon can take X amount of air. And when you put too much into that balloon, you no longer have a balloon. It will explode. It will burst.
So you basically saying the people of Marigot and Concord, they've had enough. They've had enough.
These relevant people in authority tend to take Dominicans for a ride, and not only a ride, a joyride. It's not a joyride for us. These people and the policy makers of Dominica have to understand that we are not their slaves, and they are our master. Anybody that is voted into office is to govern the people, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And our policy makers and our politicians just feel that they can do what they want with Dominicans, nobody back. And even though you back, at who you backing, it's time for this nonsense to stop. Enough is enough. And if the relevant authorities cannot come forward and put a stop in to those nonsense, then what is left to do? Citizens and villagers are left on their own. Enough said. I know they are listening, and I pray that they may hear and make a move before it is too late.
Caller, thank you very much. Hope the authorities are listening.
Mark, good afternoon to you, Mark. Mark, you know, when I listened to the lady the last time you had on the program, I tried my best to call you, but I could not get through, Mark. Mark, you know, every time you ask for solution, I laugh, Mark. It's not because you're asking for nothing wrong, you know, Mark, but it's because there will be no solution under this government, Mark. Because when I listened to the lady the last time, I said to myself, if this government we have in Dominica would come to a place and say, no, common sense prevail, or if they had even make a mistake and they listen to Miss Annie or Miss Ann, whatever is her name, Mark, they would have quickly get to the people, even service to fool them. But man, they really and truly do not care about whatever they are doing, whatever they decide to do, to hell with Dominica. He said it already. It's not a joke, you know, man. The man said, no law, no constitution can stop him. I even want to think, even if somebody would put that case to the court, he will not stop, because he do not have any intention to stop doing wrong things. But it seems that if this man is doing wrong things, I don't know, I'm only asking. Because elsewhere, when things like this happen, the government, the prime minister, the premier will come and they will talk to the people and see the way forward. But this government don't care about people, Mark. But they have their own agenda, and when people have their own agenda, nothing stop them. Only God that can do that. And so when you keep on asking for a solution, Matt, you're not asking for nothing wrong. But Matt, I just laugh at you, because under this government, even if you come up with a solution, it's gonna be vain, void, and ineffective. So the same thing the lady said the last time, and you playing it today again. If I have anything to say, is to ask Dominicans to have a peaceful protest, stand on the street, stop the project, Bring your babies, bring your little children, your little girls, and just stand on wherever they're walking and stop the walk. That's all. That's the only way you're gonna stop.
That's what happens in the absence of an EIA, economic and social impact studies, and the lack of consultation. Somebody's asking what specifically are the Chinese taking the materials for? What aspect of the airport project? I think for backfilling, compacting. Because the material in that area is more clay-like, Ella, talk to me, yes?
Yes, Matt. Matt,
Yes,
there are different modes that we can be in. There's the passionate mode where we want some immediate solution, and there's the mode of goodness where we can get a better solution. We have 3 years we work with the 15-year-olds. They'll be 18 in 3 years. And that is who you have to target, to never vote for the Dominica Labour Party. Get the 15-year-olds now. Do the politics. Educate them. 15 years old. You have 3 years. When they're 18, they don't vote.
I'm going back to your point. You need a solution to the river problem now. Again, yes, it may be so. How long do you have to wait? You think the river is going to wait on you? Someone is asking you, I guess you tuned in late. And what are we talking about? We're talking about trying to find solutions to this mining problem going on there in Debonche, affecting the Kalinago territory in Marigot. Specifically, the river running through that area. Yes, and up to now, we haven't heard from Mr. Kozia Frederick, the Minister of Environment. Of his own people, the Kalinago people. Somebody says a sign of disrespect. Huh? Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes? Yes.
Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. One was, how they say it, non-violence, Matt? Non-violent?
Not non-violent, yeah.
And the other one was revolutionary. Well, isn't that so, Matt?
Yes.
What happened to the both of them?
Both of them, yes, and both of them were killed.
Both of them were assassinated by guns. Now, there is something they call guerrilla peace, yeah. Not guerrilla warfare, guerrilla peace, yeah. And stealth. When all you mean to do something, do not call the radio and say what all you have to do. Just do what all you have to do in a stealth way. And use guerrilla peace, fear, not warfare. Not what that is happening in Dominica. One day all you might wake up to that, from that deep slumber, to the realization that Dominica has been halfway gone. Everybody's afraid of sacrifice. Not it's like you're afraid of the dentist and you have bad teeth in your mouth. Not you have to take up the courage and go and extract a feeling or something. Because it gives you a bad breath, Matt. There's pollute in the mouth of the river. Matt, you getting what I'm saying? The mouth, bad breath and extraction. You notice what that happening there, Matt?
Yes, I know. I follow you.
So Dominicans cannot sit down there complaining on something I have heard you done that a lot of times. I'm trying to be as nice to you as possible. I don't want to pressure you because you have your challenges, I have mine, physically, health-wise. Stop asking people what they're going to do, man. I say, well, do what you have to do. I hope you don't get yourself in trouble. Say something in a cautionary interjection, but not looking to almost extract information because
silence is always the best answer, Blessings. I can ask you. I'm a journalist. I have to ask questions. Doesn't mean that you always have to answer me.
No, it's the time and the place. Let us forget about that. Let me just move on quickly, Matt. Matt, what is happening in Dominica, it is frightening. It is risky. Matt, it is jeopardizing the future of our children. And they're not educated to that magnitude or to that extent, Matt, to know the Chinese intervention into Dominica is not in our interest. Not the Chinese came and take over one little tongue we had. We had another tongue they call Portsmouth. Dominicans want to talk about city. Dominica city. Now, Matt, as I said, every major infrastructural work project where Dominicans used to work and make money under Leblanc, under Patrick John, under Mistrals, under workers. Not Dominicans used to do their own thing. They cut roads, not yet seen roads where they cut now in Dominica.
Of course.
Not Dominicans that use the caterpillar and cut those roads. Not if you see certain infrastructures in Dominica, Dominicans that build it. It's not that we cannot build, We are being deprived or prevented from doing what we have to do for self so we can be independent. Inviting the Chinese where you have a naive, juvenile, delinquent, and puerile piece of let me not say. Go to China with no proper supervision or accompaniment, or if I may use that word, Matt, accompaniment, or anybody to accompany him, that is intellectually inclined and a bilingual could understand the Chinese Mandarin. No! A Chinese woman was his interpreter. We do not know how deep we are in the... Franklin, you cannot say that on those people radio. Remember Franklin have an ad like that, Matt?
I remember.
About flushing toilets and whatever. So I am just saying, Matt, we are too damn coward. The inevitable is you have to die. You can be afraid of darkness, the night must come. You can be afraid of death, you must die. And something has to be done in a drastic and revolutionary way to put a spoke in the wheel of the Chinese and Dominican and the criminal enterprise, the Dominican lethal party. Because if all you're taking what that is happening for joke, I will just say, if need be, let my blood be used in the pens of the writers who will write this bloody passage of history. But I refuse to surrender my dignity, morality, and sanity to these honorable criminals. I can't even say democracy, but because that has gone. And if we fail to come to that conclusion or that realization, Matt Fanchumun or Chen Chubie or Sek Puchu will start kicking us in our backside. Thank you.
All right, thank you too. 449-3095. We're going to take a break and we'll come back. A lot of views out there, but let's listen to this and come back.
Is the only time this government seem to respond is when you what they call boots on the ground. So Concord is an interesting community. On one side of the river, it's part of Marigot, and on the other side is part of the Kalinago territory. So the first person who actually told me about that development was the chairman of the Marigot Village Council, who was so concerned that, he was trying to get information and there was no information coming through. That's Mikey Pascal. So subsequently we have been talking, but I think to me the time has come for the Marigot Village Council to start mobilizing people in that area all the way to Concord, and those on the Kalinago chief to mobilize and we come together. And in fact, as many Dominicans as possible, because this thing is really hurting Dominicans in general. Just imagine you're driving, everybody uses that road to drive to the airport, and when you're passing, you see all this mud on the road, and they don't even clean up the place, they just leave all the mud for you to drive in. Yeah, I think the time has come for us to come together and make us go on the road and let these people know this is not going to continue. We are not going to lose an entire river for an airport, because we are right in the source of the river. It's not like what they did in some of the other areas is closer to the mouth, so maybe you can rehabilitate. If you destroy the source of the
All
river,
roads lead to Marigot for the 2nd annual Crayon Cooler Fest. Dress code all white. November 3rd, 2025. It's all going down in the Last Flight Bar and Grill from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. with entertainment from Dominican's Best. The 2nd annual Crayon Cooler Fest Wild Meat Edition. November 3rd, 2025. Last Flight Bar and Grill in Marigot comes alive. Book that date. Get your all-white outfits ready and see you there.
Moving in time, boy. Sweet body line, give me. Crayon Rock Fest in Point Mission, October 21st to the 23rd. 3 nights of great fun and excitement from 6 p.m. to midnight. See you there in Point Mission for Crayon Rock Fest.
But if they could, they would say something like this. I like Linus Vepla too. They wanted to tell my daughter, my family brought me to Linus after I died. And the way Linus took care of my body with respect and dignity, Linus Funeral Home, 30 years of experience, professional, reliable and compassionate service. We've had 24-hour emergency service. So long, Munumo, Pakite Anye Batu Diwa, Kia 449-1800, 275-7564, 449-2100, or the emergency number 277-1800. That time is for you to breathe and grieve. Linus is not willing that any should die, but Bobot, Zandra, you must go. So when you go to the best chaperone, Linus Funeral Home. Mama Tutu Famdi, Sisefa Limus, Igavini Halekeo.
Our numbers are 449-1800, 449-2100, 275-7564, and 276-0400. Call Linda.
Somebody book me on a baby.
Mouvement Créole à Soukir. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité pour études créole Dominique. Et puis Radio QFM qui est présenté. Mouvement Créole. Tous les mardis soirs en 6 après-midi. Information, blague, interview, histoire, proverbe, discussion, reportage, apprendre parler et puis écrit créole. Lien avec ton peuple créole. Bon musique créole. Mouvement Créole. Ça nous fait un rendez-vous, messieurs, mesdames. Tous les mardis soirs, QFM qui est frappé avec bon power créole. Sans ça participer, qui est nous rapidement Timamaïla, Mouvement Créole à seconde station QFM. Voici avec nous tous les mardis soirs 6h pour Mouvement Créole. Matchez ça. News from AutoTrade. Incredible savings are here. Take advantage of AutoTrade's Thrifty Thursday promotion. Mark your calendars. On the last Thursday of each month, AutoTrade is offering up to 20% off items throughout the store. Yes, 20% off. But wait, there's more. Keep your eyes peeled for our exclusive Deal of the Day offer, bringing you even bigger discounts on select items. Whether you're looking for car accessories, maintenance essentials, or just browsing for a great deal, we've got you covered. So be sure to swing by AutoTrade every last Thursday. At AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship. Terms and conditions apply.
Right on cue.
Right on cue. Right on cue.
Let's go back to the telephone, 222. So somebody's saying, up to now, Jose Frederick has not made a statement to his Kalinago people. That's disrespect. Kalinago now needs to demand his resignation. That's up to the people of the Kalinago. Let's go back to the telephone. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Good afternoon, Mr. Matt.
Good afternoon to you.
The lady is still there with you?
The lady? I never had a lady with me.
Oh, I thought it was a lady voice. Okay. Well, I'm going to give a small illustration there. There was, I was reading in something based on this picture, and people went digging a place, digging and didn't do all what they were doing. So a man keep on warning them, telling them, don't dig there. And something may happen. They don't want to hear. But the man ran, and the people, all people believe. You know what happened? An avalanche came down, and everybody died. When you go digging, and the people keep on warning me, even the little lady, they're talking to them. After Matthew spoke, many people, wheelchairs, many people don't, and they are not taking things. God is not sleeping. He said there's not somebody, he doesn't sleep. One day when we get up, or maybe while we're sleeping, some within the places they're doing certain things, something strange will happen. And maybe we may lose their lives, and then that's when we realize we need to listen to good wisdom. Thank you very much.
Well, somebody might refer to you as a prophet of doom and gloom, huh? So, 449-3095-96 and 97. We're going to come back. We're going to come back after this, yeah?
But if they could, they would say something like this. I like Linus Web Plateau. I must tell my daughter, my family brought me to Linus after I died. And the way Linus took care of my body with respect and dignity, ma jamais t'avais gâté ouais spécial à l'émoté vivant. Linus Funeral Home. 30 years of experience, professional, reliable and compassionate service. We've had 24-hour emergency service. So là, mon numéro, pas quitter un rien bas ou dire. Qui est 449-1800, 275-7564, 449-2100, or the emergency number, 277-1800. If it is busy and Linus, that time is for you to breathe and grieve. Linus is not willing that any should die, but Zandra, you must go. So when you go with the best chaperone. Linus, you know, home. Mama to do from the, si c'est pas Linus, il a fini à l'été.
Our numbers are 449-1800, 449-2100, 275-7564, and 276-0400. Call Linhurst.
Somebody book Creole, baby. Creole.
Mouvement Créole à Soukir. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité pour études créole Dominique. Et puis Radio QFM qui est présenté. Mouvement Créole. Tous les mardis soirs, 6 après-midi. Information, blague, interview, histoire, problème, discussion, reportage, apprendre à parler et puis écrit créole. Lien avec ton peuple créole. Bon musique créole. Mouvement Créole. À nous faire un rendez-vous, messieurs, mesdames. Tous les mardis soirs, QFM Kay frappé avec bon power créole. Sans ça participer, qui est nous rapidement Mouvement créole à ce grand station QFM. Watchez avec nous tous les mardis soirs 6h pour Mouvement créole. Matchez ça. Creole Handwritten Ambassador Leroy Prince Felix Charles, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, UE Global Campus, Kekanali Alpha Sales present the National Creole Language Consultation on Thursday, October 16, 2025 at the UE Global Campus from 10 a.m. Theme from vernacular to vehicle of identity educational development. Headline partner Tracked Windows. Presenters include Dr. Marie-Francois Bernard from La Martinique, Dr. Bernard Bolos from Guadeloupe, Dr. Ken Tree Jean-Pierre of St. Lucia, Midland Dragon of Haiti, Namdi Hort of Trinidad, and from Dominica, Dennis Joseph, Gordon Henderson, Raymond Lawrence, Madame Sonia Akpa, Magali Celestine, Tia Kofi Wicks, and Lena Luke. Hosts, la Guadam de la Chanson Maria Zophilia and Mia, Joseph Dennis. Special prayer by Monsignor Eustace Thomas in Creole, honoring the legacies of Felix Henderson and Marcel Chabalafonte. Other partners include TVS Radio, The Assignment, Q95 FM, NCCU, NVD, TNO, Multi Solutions Inc., Kyrie FM, Dr. Damian Dublin, Go and Global Entertainment, MO News, MCC, and more. The National Creole Language Consultation. Thursday, October 16th, 10 a.m. UE Global Campus. News from Auto Trade. Incredible savings are here. Take advantage of Auto Trade's Thrifty Thursday promotion. Mark your calendars on the last Thursday of each month. Auto Trade is offering up to 20% off items throughout the store. Yes, 20% off. But wait, here's more. Keep your eyes peeled for our exclusive Deal of the Day offer, bringing you even bigger discounts on select items. Whether you're looking for car accessories, maintenance essentials, or just browsing for a great deal, we've got you covered. So be sure to swing by Auto Trade every last Thursday. At Auto Trade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship. Terms and conditions apply.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
All right, Dominica. We have Mr. Lennon Matthew on the line at this point. Lennon, we've been asking the question all afternoon. What's the way forward? What's the way forward? It seems that we're looking for a solution. We just asked from Annie that her solution would be boots on the ground. What would be your way forward, Lennon? Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Matthew. Good afternoon to your listeners. Thanks for inviting me, calling me on here to share my thoughts. Matthew, here, I don't totally disagree with Miss Annie for several reasons. There is a history for the past few years of things not being done right, and when the proper channels are taken, it seems to get stalled up in the process, and I'll explain why. The situation you're talking about in Dominica in regards to the excavation, some say mining of material as it relates to the international airport, these activities are guided by laws set out by our parliament. The planning division specifically has a law or rules that says any capital project of this magnitude needs to have an environmental impact assessment. And if people could remember, when I mentioned that when they were building, they were talking about doing the geothermal, the government had to do EIAs because it was part of the requirement for funding by the World Bank. So the bigger issue is we go to parliament and pass these laws, and if the government is not going through the process, we have a serious problem. It means that the people have frankly lost the control of the parliament. And I think that's the bigger picture there, Matt. So as you asking for solutions, the right thing to do is to challenge the institutional bodies, and that I mean by the planning division and the environmental health division. Citizens have a right to file an injunction to allow cessation of the excavation until they can provide documents that a proper EIA was done according to the rules, laws, and legislation of Dominica. And if that was not done, then it has to be done until further work. Materially, as a geologist, I have so many questions to ask because I hear people talking about compaction and taking soil from there. And I'm asking myself the question, was any geotechnical work done on the site there taken to make sure that soil is suitable for compaction? Because I know if you want to compact a place, you have to look at moisture content, you have to look at clay content, you have to look at the whether you have what kind of particle size you have, if it's graded, if it's well sorted, if you're going to have channeling, if you're going to have piping. These are things that in the long run, if not done properly, can destabilize structures through base flow or groundwater flow. And if it's not compacted properly, materially, you're going to have issues in the long run, like settling, like structural failures, and that causes more problems. So this is the reason why you do the EIA. The other factor is some of these areas have been agricultural areas for quite some time. And we know the area of Wesley and these areas, the amount of pesticides that have been put in there. So when the sediments get into your rivers, where do you think they go? They go into the ocean, they destroy your corals, and then they get into your food system. And before you know it, our reef fish become toxic with some of the same chemicals that have been held in the soil as a result of agricultural practice for a long time. Materially, nobody mentions anything about that. So in the process of development, we cannot sacrifice the livelihoods of people, the environment that the people live in, without having that prior discussion with them and telling them, shut your mouth, we're building an airport, you should say absolutely nothing. When that airport is supposedly financed by your state resources, which is the passport, and the government doesn't see it fit to follow its own rules, that's a problem, Materially. And if the court system is being delayed, which belongs to the people and is not working, then Annie is absolutely right. The only solution here is a mass demonstration, which has not happened in Dominica because for some reason people are too selfish because it's only about them. And for some reason, the rest of Dominica thinks that the airport building in Marigot and the excavation going on in certain parts of the country is none of their business. It doesn't affect them. And it makes me wonder whether the airport is for Marigot people or Western people only. So they're going to suffer the consequences of the excavation. And then the rest of Dominica is going to sit down and say, we have an airport that we probably cannot manage and we probably cannot pay for. Materially, I'm going to put this on record on your radio program. I am willing to bet, after all is said and done, this airport is going to cost 4 times the amount that was told to the public, and it's not going to be financed by Passport. I guarantee you this airport is going to be built by Chinese, if not started already. That's why they can do as they please, stay as they please, and no man back. Materially, I would like to ask the government, did they do an environmental impact assessment for the Blenheim area and the road from Blenheim to Wesley that has been destroyed as a result? Did they do EIAs for all the other areas that they are removing material right now and have the necessary meetings with the consultation with the public to let them know what are the problems, what are the disadvantages? All what you're talking about now could have been solved if there was a proper EIA and the proper consultation with the public to make them know that their desires, their needs, their rights, their property rights, their safety, their health is being protected and what is being done. A simple solution could have been to put off steel fences. Steel fences is a simple engineering solution. That is not being done. So you're building something for the Dominican people. You're destroying the lives of certain people. You don't give a rat's who speaks and who doesn't speak. When the parliament and the prime minister is the servant of the people, it cannot be for some you're doing as you please, and people should shut up. And what is happening is a total disrespect of the population of Dominica, is a total disregard for our intelligence, a total disregard for our human dignity. We should just take what we get and shut up and say absolutely nothing. And that is the level of disrespect that's been happening in Dominica for the past 20 years. And it's about time people stand up and realize that the governance of this country belongs to them. Materially, I hate to say it, but the solutions we have are very slim, short of revolution, mental revolution, and a revolt against a system that does not work in the best interest for the people. I don't know what people are waiting for. I don't know why they don't see. But I can guarantee you at the end of this exercise, this airport is not going to be built for the funds that we were told. And Dominica is not going to own that airport. And I will boldly say that because from my experience, you cannot tell me you building an airport. And all what we have not seen a plan. We have not seen any plans for the roads that were messed up. We have not seen any plans for the areas that were excavated. And if Edison James filed an injunction to prevent excavation in his area, how did you just automatically overnight find a new place? What are the geotechnical studies you did in that place? What is the soil type you're taking out from there? How is that soil type being able to be compacted? How are you accounting for water flow in an area that has streams and rivers passing through your construction area? And if you don't account for all that, Matthealty, I am telling Dominican people, Matthealty, I am not a Chinese. I was born in Benz, born and raised in Benz. And I'm going to say it again. I don't have to open my mouth to say anything about Dominica because I'm doing well for myself, right, Matthealty? But the only reason I talk is because I see the blatant disrespect and disregard for my intelligence and other people like me who are capable. And I'm telling you, if the government sends people to go get educated and we can't speak on the behalf of our people, we have a problem. I am telling you guys that this airport is going to cost at least 4 times more than the government has been telling us. And the Chinese government is building this airport. Our passport money is not involved because they can do as they please. The government is lying to the people. And when you lie to people, you put...
Well, let me put forward an argument that somebody else is putting here that I want to share. Matthew, you want to have an omelet without breaking eggs. In Grenada, they erased a whole mountain. In St. Vincent, they uprooted a cemetery. Dominica is the most rugged island with 365 rivers. If you lose one, worst case scenario, and you add an effective airport transport, isn't that the risk worth taking? Somebody's asking. Just a question.
Well, Matthealty, you see that is the kind of stupidity that you sometimes you don't want to entertain because Dominica is not Grenada. And we're not like any of these islands. And at the end of the day, you cannot say, okay, well,
and we are the nature island. That's what we are promoting.
And if you promoting the nature island, every action you do has to show some reverence to what you claim you are. I am giving a solution. Why didn't put up steel fences? Why didn't you have the necessary consultation with the different people to see how they are affected? Because if they were told what was going to happen and what you could have done, we wouldn't have this chaos. How are you going to involve them in the process? Because you have a huge construction going out in their neighborhood. They could be the ones being employed and at least gaining valuable revenue from that activity. None of that is done, Matthealty. You see dump trucks passing up and down. So are the Chinese working for free? So why would you have young men sitting down in the neighborhood and they're not the ones working when you're extracting material from their neighborhood? So when I hear people come and talk about you can't have omelette without egg, well, you know, this kind of simple argument tells you the mindset of some of our folks, Matthealty. It's more than that because at the end of the day, you don't build something on lies and deception, and then I'm supposed to sit there and say, okay, well, I need to break the egg before we have home. And that's the level of stupidity we have I mentioned several technical stuff there, you know, and that is the only response somebody can give. You understand what I'm saying, Matthealty? At the end of the day, Dominica is not Grenada. You have not spoken to the people as you were supposed to do, as your laws and your environmental laws and your processes says, right? You have not done these things. If you have done these things, then you would not have these issues, or probably you have limited the issue. But you cannot go ahead and tell me that you're altering an entire environment. You're altering people's livelihoods. And you're just telling them, just sit there and shut up because it was done in Grenada, it was done in place. Nobody said anything. We don't know that. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, to avoid this confusion, you have to do what is according to the rules and the laws and what is right. That is all. And then we can account for how much. Okay, let me ask you an important question. The Prime Minister, the government said there was $2.something billion to build the airport. Is anybody tracking how much it's cost so far? And I know the road from Banks wasn't involved. The excavation in Blenheim wasn't part of that cost. The bridges that have been destroyed wasn't part of that cost. some of these areas were not part of that cost because nobody has seen an environmental impact assessment. So how then we should just stay quiet and say, okay, well, we've moved down an entire mountain and change a place without the government telling us. I mean, this is hogwash. Matilda, you know, I appreciate you having me on there, but the government is not working for the Chinese. The government is not working for foreigners. The government is going to be in parliament asking the people of Dominica to vote for them. We need to understand what that means. That means you are giving them permission to work on your behalf every 5-year cycle. If these people go to pass laws in parliament and they themselves are violating the laws, they need to go. And if the court system, which is designed so that we can solve our disputes, because as I said earlier, one way is to pass an injunction with the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Planning to make sure that the rules they have in place are followed so we don't have these issues. And if we cannot do that as a country, we are failed. We are failed state. And according to some of your folks, the horse has already left the stable, Matilda. And I don't think there is anything more to do short of a revolution of demonstration.
Boots on the ground. Thank you very much. Thank you. In-depth analysis there from, of course, our good friend there. Let's take a break. We'll come right back.
To Marigot for the second annual Crayon Cooler Fest. Dress code all white. November 3rd, 2025. It's all going down in the Last Flight Bar and Grill from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. with entertainment from Dominican's Best. The second annual Crayon Cooler Fest. Wild Meat Edition. November 3rd, 2025. Last Flight Bar and Grill in Marigot comes alive. Book that date. Get your all white outfits ready and see you there.
Moving in time, boy. Sweet body line, give me. Crayon Rock Fest in Point Mission, October 21st to the 23rd. 3 nights of great fun and excitement from 6 p.m. to midnight. See you there in Point Mission for Crayon Rock Fest.
But if they could, they would say something like this. I like Linus Vepla too. Tell my daughter, my family brought me to Linus after I died. And the way Linus took care of my body with respect and dignity, Linus Funeral Home, 30 years of experience, professional, reliable and compassionate service. We've had 24-hour emergency service. So long, Munumo, Pakite Anye Batu Kia 449-1800, 275-7564, 449-2100, or the emergency number 277-1800. That time is for you to breathe and grieve. Linus is not willing that any should die, but Bobot, Zandra, you must go. So when you go to the best chaperone, Linus Funeral Home. Mama Tutu Famdi, Sisefa Limus, Igavini Hale.
Our numbers are 449-1800, 449-2100, 275-7564, and 276-0400. Call Lyndhurst Funeral Home today.
Now, I've been in some background checks, and according to the information shared about Mr. Addison James, I've been informed this is just a lie. That's all I'm going to say for based on the information received. That if Mr. James had allowed the mining to continue, then they would not have resorted to the wash. But my source has informed me that is just a lie. So let's see what happens. Let's take a phone call. Hello, yes? Hello.
Matt, good afternoon. I just have to call you on the last statement you made there.
Yes,
Okay, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Hello, Matt. I just have to call you on the very last statement you made about the line.
I'm hearing you.
Okay?
Yes.
Let me tell you, Matt. There would have been no reason, absolutely no reason, for the airport development to look for another quarry site and set up another crusher to crush stone. Absolutely no reason. The reason why we are here is because the quarry was set up in Crapo Hall, utilizing the lands of government and the land of Celia Federal. Government was utilizing its own land and the land of Celia Federal. That is the very same land Edison James, Chenfield James, as Prime Minister, had leased from Celia Federal and was utilizing the government land, the very same landmark, to put up a crusher in the very same area to crush material for the international airport that his government, that he was Prime Minister of, was going to build. So there was, and let me tell you again, the company was owned 60% for Edison James and 40% for his wife, Wilma James. So he and his wife owned the company, and he was going to crush land in the very same area. Edison James, the government was using the very same area and using the crusher, and the crusher, they were crushing stones from 7 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the night, Sunday to Sunday. Edison James filed an injunction to stop completely the operation in the court. He filed an injunction to stop the operations in the court. The court did not give a full stoppage, but the court severely curtailed the operations by only giving the operation 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. They could not operate on a Saturday, they could not operate on a Sunday as they were doing. Because of that, the stockpiling of material was behind, is still behind. The stockpiling of material is still behind. So a new crusher and a new quarry area was needed. Hence the Debwash area. So if you, Matt Peltier, listen to me very well, if you, Matt Peltier, want to stop the quarry at Debwash, unless in Kalinago territory, Ernie Edwards, and all of them, all they have to do is make a delegation to Edison Chenfield James and ask him to remove the partial injunction that is on the quarry at Crapo Hall.
Are you saying Mr. Edison James has the answer because you have no other alternatives? That's your point to me?
What alternative?
I'm saying, but don't you have any other alternatives? I'm asking you a question.
Let me ask you that. What if Edison James have the very same area? This is what you have to understand. But all that is happening now is an effort to delay the construction of the international airport, which is well on its way. It is well. A plane can land there currently.
A plane can land there currently? Yes? You say a plane can land there currently?
If a plane is in distress, it will land on the dirt. It will land on this. Not on continent, but it can land.
Clarence, do you, and I suspect you're speaking on behalf of the company, I suspect you work there as well as some accountant or the other. Do you think that the Chinese or the people who manages this quarry care about the environment and the lives is destroying and the river is destroying at this point?
There is nobody who cares about the environment more than the Chinese. And the Chinese are not working for themselves, they're working for the government of Dominica who is building an international...
So you're admitting that the government gives them permission to do the quarrying they're doing right now, yes?
They cannot go there without the government permission.
Okay, I just wanted to get that point.
Right? And so all you have to do, Matt, and Ernie Edwards, and Baptist, and all of them, go to Edison James. Ask Edison James to remove the impartial injunction that he has on Purple Hall. That's what you have to do. Thank you, man. That's what I have to say.
That's all you have to say. I was going to ask you another question, but again, we will continue. So, Mr. Edison James, you heard Clarence Christian. You know, he's saying that a plane can land right now. If a plane is in distress, it will be able to land at the current site of the international airport. Dominica's 8 minutes. We wanted to hear another view. We heard it. That was Mr. Clarence Christian. He's pointing the fingers at Edison James, the former Prime Minister of Dominica. (2:52 and 45 seconds). This is the afternoon time. You know my telephone's going to get crazy right now. 8 more minutes to go. 8 more. Let's see what happens. Hello, yes?
Yes,
Oh,
Matt, good afternoon.
good afternoon to you, sir. Yeah.
Matt, I'm happy to have heard Clarence Christian,
Yes.
deliberating on the fact that Edison James has land in Crapo Hall and whatever, and is preventing some getting of the material to crush. I would want Mr. Clarence Christian to understand that Roosevelt Skerrit has how many seats in Parliament, and there is such a thing as acquire people land. The government can acquire the land. It is for the public interest. The land, if they acquire, is for the public interest for the airport. So Mr. Clarence Christian can, instead of we having to go to Mr. Edison James, can go to Roosevelt Skerrit, because it seems as if he have all answers for all things that are on map in the afternoon. So go and tell Roosevelt Skerrit to let his government acquire the land. Edison James is preventing the government from using to build the airport. Good afternoon.
Says government belongs to the people. The court put an injunction. Edison James can only request. 449-3095-96. I'm sure Mr. Edison James will respond some way or the other. Let's see if we get another phone call. It's 2:54. Yes, he's pointing fingers at Mr. Edison James. And that's the reason why. And I said that to you before earlier, right? That's the reason why that they in that Debauche area. But I spoke to a source who said that's a complete lie. But we just heard from Clarence. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Matt,
Yes,
good
sir.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Politics as usual. and the nice thing about U95 is that anybody can come on politics from any side. I couldn't do that on Kyrie. I couldn't do that on DBS. You understand? But Mr. Clarence Christian can come and he can air his view, and we listen to it. Now, Mr. Clarence Christian, that you have not addressed the fact that the river is being polluted and that people downstream are suffering. He never mentioned it. Did he mention any of that?
Well, he said they can stop it. They can stop it if they only go to Edison James. That's what he said. But he never spoke about, the environment per se. Hello, talk to me. Yes?
That's all nonsense, Matt. What I'm saying is that he has no concern for the people downstream who are suffering. It's all about Skerrit's mission. And in other words, you can bulldoze people's houses, you can do whatever. Mr. Skerrit is going to get his job done, and that's it. There's no consideration for the people in the wake of whatever Mr. Skerrit wants to do. And that has been the attitude of the Dominica Labour Party.
All right, caller. Now, Clarence, he just left. Actually, I wanted to ask him a few more questions, but he chose. Clarence, you can call me back and of course answer this question if you have the time. I know you always listen to the Talk on the Block. Where's the government's environmental impact assessment, the EIA, for the quarry mining that's taking place in that area? Are you there, caller?
Mr. Teltier.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Mr. Teltier, tell Mr. Christian. Christian, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane, my boy. If it's the accounting you're dealing with, deal with accounting. You might be a good accountant, but stay in your lane. The issue there is not whether or not there is an injunction on the site that was originally approved or whatever for the mining or extraction of material for the construction of the airport. The issue is this suitability and the fact whether or not the environmental impact assessment have been done for the new site that you chose for the extraction of material. And the concerned public, including myself and Mrs. Edwards, who is also very qualified in that area, is saying what is going on there is very negatively impacting the environment. And I am saying, Mr. Christian, that you can solve the problem. You think this solving of the problem is bringing the politics into it. I'm not interested in what Ms. Edison James. They can deal with it, the court can deal with it. If you decide, okay, there is an injunction on one side, so we have to find an alternative site. Then the same studies you have done for the site of you said there is an injunction on, so that you have done the studies. And therefore, the activity or the extraction taking place on that new site is okay. It's according to the environmental, to the planning act, etc., etc. This is the issue. This is what I have been. I said, let the proof. If the concerns here prove that hey, we have done the studies, we have the injunction on that area. We have identified a new site. We are satisfied that the work and the extraction activity taking place there is within the planning act, and it's suitable. It meets international standards. Why you want to bring your politics in this thing? Man, stay in your lane. Jesus Christ.
Oh boy, 2 minutes before the hour, 3 o'clock. This is, of course, the talk on the block. We have a few more minutes. You've got a few more minutes to, of course, connect. And you better do this very, very quickly before we wrap it up, okay? Yes, it's 2:58 in the afternoon. Hello, yes? And 49
Matt,
seconds.
so quickly, Matt, nobody cannot pay me to make a donkey of myself, you know. Matt, there are all kind of technical and sophisticated people. Now you have Clarence Christian coming and tell your plane can land, Matt. Does Clarence know anything about aviation and wind speed and
He said a plane in distress can land.
Nobody, whether it is in distress or a deliberate attempt, what are the proper preparation based on the surface and all of that? You see, Clarence is just making a fool of himself, and not very interesting. The Chinese care so much about Dominica, but they mess up and contaminate the Yangtze River in China and make the pink dolphin, the pink bottlenose dolphin, become extinct in that river. Consider amount of pollution that in China, because it's mass development they're doing. The Chinese care about Dominica environment. Clarence was
All right, Dominica. Yes, we're almost to the end of this program. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Where are we? Where are we? Yeah.
Yes, sir, Clarence, sometimes when that man calls the program, he just keep on putting nails in that coffin, you know. Technically. All you cannot tell Clarence Christian saying is a democracy. Let the man keep on putting nails in a coffin. Leave him. Self-destruct.
All right, more telephone calls. Can I give you a few more minutes? Yes, I will. Hello, yes. Good. Good
Do
afternoon.
not vote. Do not vote for parties that behave like that do not care about the people and do not inform the people. Do not vote for such political parties. Thank you, man.
All right, Sam. Somebody says here, somebody who knows a little bit about the environment says, Matt, if there's an injunction on the crop hole estate, then it is the responsibility of the government and its lawyers to go to court and argue for the lifting of that injunction. Somebody's asking, Matt, before you go, even a plane in distress can land. So do we have the medical and emergency support if available? Question to Clarence, I imagine. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Are you there? Yes? Hello? Hello? Nobody there. That's the international line. Somebody says, Matt, the Kalinago people basically gave up their rights via the votes to do what they want to do. That is why these acolytes behave the way they do. Huh? That's a WhatsApp message.
This is just a clear example of education par l'esprit. That is what they man demonstrating there, you know. Education, c'est par l'esprit.
It's already 3:03. We've got to go. Yes? Hello? Yeah? Uh-huh.
Yes, Matt. Me again, Matt.
Yes.
The government, led by Roosevelt Skerrit, can get high-priced lawyers from Trinidad to persecute the opposition, to persecute them, but they cannot get high-priced lawyers to lift the injunction so that the getting of the materials could continue there and we wouldn't have what is happening up there happening. They're persecuting the people and they cannot get lawyers to do that.
I always tell you sometimes, it's better to be thought of as a fool than to open your mouth. And remove all doubt. Hello, talk to me in the afternoon. This is the talk on the block. Yes. Are you there?
Just a few seconds, Matt.
A few
That
seconds.
is the exact playbook of dictators. Oh, I am disturbing your peace, former Prime Minister. Well, I'm going to mash up a river and a mountain close to you. More damage. Take it, iron thing.
All right. Hello. Yes, we might have to continue this one. Hello. Yes. Caller. You're not there. Let's move to another one. Yes, let's move to another call quickly. Are you there, caller? Yes?
Yes, I am there. I'm just wondering, can they still operate the quarry by Edison?
Yes, they can within certain hours. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay, fine. So they can still operate the quarry, but they choose to open a new quarry and cost them more money. Does that make sense? It's better you maximize the hours that you have of operation and make the most out of it, rather than go and open a new quarry which is about another 7 miles away. So you're going to increase your hauling costs another 7 miles and destroy another area. For what? Does it make sense? Does it play off? So if you're an accountant, does it make sense that you want to abandon one quarry that you can operate for limited time, but open a new quarry that is further away that's going to cost you more money to haul to the site again? Does it make sense?
The math is not mathing. The math is not mathing. Yes. Yes, you can still operate a quarry at the Quapper Hole estate, but it has to be limited. It will be Monday to Friday. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yeah?
Okay, does Matt Clarence have a brain or is he just talking out his mouth? Still sorry for my talking, man. I love my country. But when people like that come talking so much crap, it is a shame. They have no shame. It's like the people just have no shame. You can support a party, but if something's wrong, God say it is wrong.
Okay, caller. Yes, our final call will continue tomorrow morning right here on Q95. Hello, yes, talk to me. Yes?
At that new quarry, I'm seeing a lot of earth and very little rock. I'm sure the rock it may be down below, but as of now, there's a lot of earth on top, and it's taking a lot of effort to move it, and that's what's causing a lot of the problem. I'm not sure really how much rock is there. Maybe they know better, but there's a lot of earth, Matt, and that is a slide area from the past. We know the Debouche, when the road was being built in the 50s or whatever, that area was a slide area. So I feel sorry for them when a heavy shower comes down one day. These workers that are there may be at risk.
Well, but from what I saw yesterday, they're building a heavy wall in that area, a very heavy wall. Big wall.
Yes, they're building a wall, Matt, but all that will be buried from what is coming from the top.
All right, I guess we'll have to find out from a construction engineer, a structural engineer, and move on. But again, folks, it was a pleasure. We might have to continue with that discussion because, this issue of the river has to be resolved. And Clarence, we're only looking for solutions, huh? I don't live in Concord. I don't live in the Carib Territory. But definitely an issue that will affect future generations. And we as a country, we have to be concerned. So next time you call me and answer the questions about the environmental impact, huh?
Mouvement Créole à Secure. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité pour études créole Dominique. Et puis Radio QFM qui a présenté Mouvement Créole. Tous les mardis soirs en 6 après-midi. Information, blagues, interviews, l'histoire, problème, discussion, reportage, apprendre à parler et puis écrit créole. Lien avec ton peuple créole. Bon musique créole. Mouvement Créole. À nous faire un rendez-vous, messieurs, mesdames. Tous les mardis soirs, QFM qui est frappé avec bon power créole. Sans ça participer, qui est nous rapidement Timamaïla, Mouvement Créole à ce grand station QFM. Voici avec nous tous les mardis soirs.
Amiga nuevo, open up your eyes. Your country needs you. Hope you realize our government is abusing its power and authority, and if it's having an earth effect on the whole country, it is time for us to take a stand. After all, this is our native land. That is why I came back to stay, to expose the wicked things that are perpetrating. It is only time for the self-destruct. Freedom power is the TNT. The purpose is for and what's for the box. They don't really care about this country. All these scheming and writing plans have caught up with them. They are facing some multiple problems, and just as sure as the sun will rise, this government must fall. The handwriting is on the wall. minister, a dictator. If with him you don't agree, you can't progress in your country. Our government has no respect for the business community. No dialogue, they only are in this street. Taking the poor ones who have no money, while the friends live in luxury. As a family and the prime minister, and then your boy, think down figure. It is only time for the self-destruct. Freedom power is the TNT. The purpose in government was for the bucks. They don't really care about this country. All this giving conniving plans are caught up with them. They're facing in some amount of the problems, and just as sure as the sun will rise, this government must fall. The handwriting is on the wall. Unprecedented corruption, urban throughout the island, and victimization who those who express dissatisfaction with the way this government handling this country's revenue. Accepting no accountability for the underhand things they just do. As you're taking over where they are own, and rewarding their friends down with rifles, I will mash up the blame and I'll see and hold them so they come and take back the land. It is only time for the self-destruct. Freedom power is the TNT. Their purpose is